Hey guys, welcome to today's tutorial. Today I'm going to be talking about how I stack my Milky Way and nightscape images in a program called Sequator. So the program is for Windows only. It is free, and I'm going to go ahead and drop a link in the description below. So you guys may be asking yourself, how do I have photos ready to stack? The simple way that I do it is I will use my camera's in-camera self-timer, and I'll ask it to take more than just one shot, because normally you can program it for one, but I'll program it to shoot 9, and it'll shoot them within a 2-second delay, so that way I have a pretty rapid shot taken right after another. And the reason for doing that is if you have just a short duration between each shot, you're going to make sure that those photos blend well when you go to stack them in Sequator. Hey guys, so now we're in Adobe Lightroom, and I've already done some basic edits to the files over here. And if you guys are interested in seeing how I edit my Milky Way photos in Adobe Lightroom, I have a video on that in my YouTube channel, and I'll link it down below. So I've done all my basic edits. I like the way everything looks, and I made sure and copied all the settings to all 9 that I took. So to get them ready for Sequator, I want to right click after highlighting them all, click on Export. We go to Export here, and I want to put them in a subfolder that I call Finished Stacked Images. Just title it whatever you would like. Stack. Make sure you go to custom name and sequence so that way you'll get numbers. And then I want to change, what's really important here is changing the image format. I want them to be TIFFs. You don't want to export JPEGs. The reason being is that you won't be able to edit them very well thereafter if they're in JPEG. But if they're in TIFF format, then you'll retain all that detail and be able to really do some manipulative edits later. Now, I don't want them to be resized at all. I don't want them to be sharpened, and I want to keep everything else the same. And let's double check. The one important thing that you have when you're exporting them as a TIFF is to make sure that you keep your profile consistent, and I want to stay with ProPhoto RGB. And the reason why is I just find that that's the best one that I'd be able to print with, to rely on for my monitor, and etc. So I got it all set up. I'm going to click Export, and we're going to move on to Sequator. Now we are in Sequator, and we want to start adding those images that we just exported from Lightroom. So I'm going to right click on the base image, and I'm going to click Set. I'm going to make sure I have the right folder pulled up. And what I want to do is I want to take the middle exposure, the one that is best suited for the alignment of the Milky Way. And if I shoot a stack of 9, the middle exposure is the 5th. So I'm going to take number 5, make sure it's selected, click Open. Right click again on Start Images, click Add, and I'm going to add all the other images. So the easy way you can do that is you can click Control and A, and then hit Control and click off number 5 because we already have that selected. I'm going to click Open, and so I don't need to do anything with noise images, nothing with vignetting images, but before you start you have to set an output. And so I'll right click Output, it'll ask me where I want to save, and I'll just name this my Finished Stack, and that'll be what it's saved as. So now we go through the process of using Sequator. So with the composition set, you have a few options here. I want to align stars. Since we're not doing star trails, we want them to be sharp, whereas trails would make them cumulative and add to the photo. So I want to make sure that accumulation is set, and I also want to make sure that I freeze the ground because I want to both stack the ground and the sky at the same time. So now I have that set. I want to click on my sky region, and I don't want it to be my full area, so what I can do is I can click on this irregular mask down here, make sure that auxiliary highlight is selected, and then now I get a paintbrush, and this paintbrush will show me what I mask in for the sky, and then everything that isn't masked in will be separate. So I'm going to brush in just by clicking here and just start brushing in my sky. And you can see that it's getting covered in green. So green means that it's being affected and that I'm telling the program, hey, this is sky. And I don't want it to be a perfect blend. I kind of want a little bit of space between the two. I found that this program works really well if you give it a little bit of leeway and you don't go full up on the edge of your horizon. So I know that it looks like I'm maybe not masking it, but it actually is what I have found to be the best way to stack it. So, and you can change your mouse size by just scrolling the wheel up and down, and that'll make your brush bigger and larger. So everything in red below is the land down under the horizon, and that looks good. So the last thing I want to do is I want to change my color space. I want to right click on it, Make sure it's Adobe RGB, and I'll show you why later in Photoshop. And now we're set to hit start. Alright, so now we're bringing this image back into Photoshop, and so I'm going to click on Finish Stack TIFF, which is the one I just saved in Sequator for the output file. I'm going to click Open. And so right away, the only thing that I find frustrating about Sequator is that it changes your color profile. So I know that we had set it to Adobe RGB, but we have to come over here to Edit in the top left, click on Assign Profile, click on the profile that titles ProPhoto RGB, and now we have everything looking like the way it should be. It's got the right colors. Let's go ahead and take a zoom on the photo. So if we can zoom in, you'll see here that it's nearly noise free. I mean, I'm zooming in here 66% right here. And I did take this shot at 20 seconds, so there is a little bit of star trailing. I should have taken this at 15 or even 13 seconds, and then my stars would have been just a little bit sharper. But it's a great, mostly noise-free image. And let's compare with a single image. So this is the same thing, but a single image. And you can see that immediately it took away so much of the grain that was in just one image from stacking. Also, you can see there's a lot of noise discoloration in the foothills, and it does a really good job of getting rid of those odd pinks and greens that come up when you're working with high ISO files. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video about stacking images in Sequator. I hope you can see the value of using multiple images taken sequentially over just one image and how much it can really clean up a photo. So please comment what you thought down below, and please subscribe for more tutorials on photography, and if you want to see more of my time-lapse footage. Happy holidays everyone!